So the beginning of Tuesday is me with my head poking around. Alright, so if you've come back to Tuesday, you saw one, and decided to come back for two, unless you've already watched a bunch of what I've posted. But if you come back for two, this is Tuesday. Second section of a recording. I've been recording. I'm not going to tell you how many. You can look into that if you want to, but the theme for Tuesday, so I explained that the theme for Monday was explanation of the project, or the episode, what the project is, the podcast, and each, explain how the programming of it is broken down so that people can track it themselves if they're interested. Some people will be interested in one type of content. Some people will be interested in all of it. So I'm breaking it up into daily themes. And today is Tuesday. And Tuesdays are generally me telling stories about my childhood or things that influenced me. And one story I got like 5 stories in, and I'm like, well, these are all one part of one story as well. So I'm going to practice summarizing this part of my life. So I started summarizing 5 events, but I'm narrowing it down to 3. Just going to summarize 3 events, and I'll keep practicing. Maybe this section of the story will turn into something interesting. So today, the 3 events from my childhood seem to work well together as a beginning, middle, and ending of a story. When I was very young, I was taken to I guess it was a party, or I was with my father and we were traveling, and so I guess he was visiting friends that he hadn't seen in a long time. Something like that, or friends of a friend, I don't know. I was a 5-year-old kid. I was with my dad, that's all I knew, and we were at this house. They were hanging out and having a good time. I don't know if I was having a good time. I just remember one thing from that night. 2 things, actually. I remember walking in the house, meeting the people, and then pointing to a corner where there was a pure white husky dog seated, like obediently seated in the corner. And then they went on and, said hi to each other and introduced each other to other people, and something like that. Meanwhile, I was standing there looking at a dog. And I didn't hear what they had said, so I must have just started walking toward it because it was beautiful. I don't remember that specifically, but I am conjecturing because of what happened next. Apparently, I walked straight toward the dog with my hand out. And the dog didn't know how to interpret it, or I don't know how to explain dog behavior, but he lunged at me and he latched onto my face. Right, like that. There's a dog on my face. All I have are eyes sticking out. And there's a dog holding my head. My nose is in its throat, just trying to eat me. Right? And that was like this. Actually, I think I had my eye in the dog's mouth. One eye was in the dog's mouth. Yeah, that's right. Just an eyeball looking out of a dog's mouth. And then the next thing I remember, my head is under a faucet with water flowing across my face. And I just Got rushed to the hospital and got stitches. So as a child, there was a beast that tried to devour me. Interesting to think about, I guess. But the adults rushed over and saved me. So I had a fear of dogs. I had a great fear of dogs. Large dogs, small dogs, whatever. They couldn't wrap their mouth around my head, but the large dogs could. And they're fast. I didn't see it coming. And it caused me pain. And then the day came when I was visiting my dad again because my parents were separated when I was young. And we were visiting friends again. Except this is where I lived. This is in the hills. We were over at another friend's house, and my dad went home, and I wanted to stay behind for some reason. I don't know. I just wanted to hang out longer. And he said, "Okay." I would walk home. I was 13, so it was like 8 years later. Yeah. 13 years old. And I loved walking because the moon was out, and the country was beautiful. And walking at night through the country, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it at all. With a full moon, walking down a country road. That's the most amazing experience to have, I think, on the planet, just enjoying nature. Except on the road, there was a property where a dog, I don't know, I used to hear it bark. I knew it was there, but the property was covered with trees. The road went right through a clump of trees, and there was a house in there with a dog. So I'm walking home, and I get closer, and I see, I feel straight. I can't see anything except light, a pinpoint of light at the other end. I know it's a straight road, but let me take a drink break. I'm telling a story. I need to take a sip of water. So, that pinpoint of light was my target. I looked straight ahead, and I just started walking. And it was completely dark all around me. And here I am, walking directly toward a little pinpoint of light, and I hear, somewhere in the darkness, hello? I believe hello was the first word I said. I screamed it out though. I didn't scream it, I shouted it. I'm not going to shout it that loud, but the light went on shortly. I just stayed perfectly still. Called out. And the light went on. And the dog's name, I don't remember it. I wish I did. But the dog summoned away, and I proceeded on my walk. 13-year-old kid, and learning to enjoy rock and roll music and hang out and party. Yeah. It was like I overcame in that moment my fear of the beast. And it wasn't even like this dramatic thing that, it's like celebration. Well, that's what happened. It was just, there's an expression. Things are meant to be. They just, fait accompli. Fait accompli, it's French. It's just like, oh, this is actually preordained. It just happened. So I overcame the beast. And went on to access my creativity from that moment. Tell that story. I had an assignment in school a couple years later, and I came up with a story idea about genetic memory. It's not an original concept. It's probably a staple of science fiction. Genetic inherited memory, or this is more like traveling through time, going and experiencing your direct descendants' life. There's another kind of beast. It's a metaphor. Another kind of beast that turns out to be humans, as they abuse technology and mutated, kind of. Yeah. I forget what I called it, but it turned out to be an interesting story. Well, I've already gone way too long for Tuesday, so I'm going to just cut it right at the 30. Email me at heregoesnothing@talesoftruth.com. Heregoesnothing@talesoftruth.com.